let's find the greatest common factor of two monomials. So here are going to be three examples, A, B, and C, and we're going to find the greatest common factor. Usually with variables, it's a little bit easier to find the common factors because we can always use the exponents. So it really comes back down to those numbers or those coefficients. So 72 and 36, our first approach is to find the greatest common factor of 72 and 36. So you may want to do some work off to the side. 72 is really what? 8 times 9. But what is 8 times 9? 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And then times 9, which is 3 times 3. So there's 72. And then what's 36? What's the prime factorization of 36? That'll be 4 times 9. So what's 4 times 9? 2 times 2. And then times 9, which is 3 times 3. Okay, so in this case, I am writing our factor trees as quickly as possible. They're more like factor bushes. Okay, and so, all right, what do these have in common? So it looks like they just have two 2's in common. So, oh, sorry, excuse me. There's two 2's and a 3, right? So the GCF of 72 and 36 is simply 12. Okay, or 4 times 3. So we got 12. And then with the variables, the factors of variables, the factors of a to the fifth is simply a times a times a times a times a. And the factors of a to the fourth will be what? A times a times a times a. I mean, if you want me to list it out, sure, we certainly can. And then that would be what? A to the fifth, and then a to the fourth is a times a times a times a. So what do they have in common? Well, shoot, they have a to the fourth in common. Okay, they have a to the fourth in common. How about b to the third and b to the seventh? Well, then they have b to the third in common, and then you're done. Okay? All right. It's really not that bad. How about 48? 48 is what? 6 times 8. But what is 6 times 8? 2 times 3. And then 8, well, 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. And so there's your little factor bush. All right, how about 81? 81 is 9 times 9. But what's 9 times 9? 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay. What do they have in common this time? 48 and 81 only has a common factor of 3. Oh, so once again, we have 3. So really, the numbers is the toughest. Do they have any x's in common? Nope. Do they have any y's in common? Yes. They have y to the third in common. Do they have any z's in common? Nope. And because this monomial here doesn't have any z's, and this monomial here has one z. So they don't have any z's in common. So you're only left with 3 times y to the third. And that is your GCF between those two monomials. How about 14b to the third and 5a to the fourth? Well, 14 is 2 times 7. Well, those are both prime already. And 5 is prime. Well, 5 just looks like a stick. So the GCF of 14 and 5 is just 1. So we're going to leave that 1 to be the invisible one. Does b to the third and a to the fourth have anything in common? Nope. So what's the GCF of these two numbers, or these two monomials? It's simply going to be now the visible one. There we go. It's just the 1.